Jim, this office is relatively new, is it not? How long have you been in here?
We've been here 3 months. Today is our 1-year anniversary of our new firm.
On the 20th floor of Cass Gilbert's Woolworth building.
Woolworth building, exactly. Did you see the thing on the window? We have a little drawing on the window.
Right.
The good, municipal building.
Right.
The bad, the Verizon building. And the Gary.
The Gary.
The good, the bad, and the Gary.
We're actually in your office in your library.
And the book cube.
In the book cube. Why is it a book cube?
Because we wanted both a library and a glass room, kind of a library and acoustical privacy. The books sit against the glass wall. It was actually a sort of gesture to Rachel Whiteread, who makes kind of cast and inside out things. And so if this is like the inside out library where all you see are the whites of the books.
So you see all the books from the other side.
All
basically.
Beautifully lined up, all arranged by size, which it turns out is really not the best way to arrange.
Why isn't it the best way to arrange it?
What size book are you looking for, Mr. Bierut? Can I show you something in a 12-inch book?
Do you remember the book that made you become an architect?
I studied biology when I went to Cornell. Really quickly, I found out that wasn't going to be working out for me. And my father, who was always interested in architecture, of course, rather than be an architect, he had an office supply store. Next best thing. But he bought this book, and he bought it the year that it was published, which must have been 70, 69 or 70, the Bauhaus book. And so this was the first of those big books. This was the biggest book ever in those days. So I borrowed this book in the entire second semester in the bleak winter of Cornell University. I spent going through every single page of this book over and over and thinking, this is like the most incredible thing I've ever seen. And even though I knew I couldn't be an architect, it gave me the interest or the confidence to say, well, at least I could try. And then he asked for it back.
Your dad asked for it back?
He asked for it back, and he wouldn't. And I thought, what an asshole.
Because
what a jerk. Get your own book. I said, get your own life.
For an architect or a designer, do you have any books you love that you would say are ugly? Do you have any books you've bought just because they're beautiful?
Oh, yes. Yes,
to the
yes.
Yeah.
You buy lots of books that are kind of, you must buy, in spite of their ugliness. And you buy lots of books that are attractive and kind of ephemeral and pretty. I got this book when I first started traveling. I'd never been to Europe until I graduated from college. I got a fellowship to travel, and I went to England, among other places, and I went to the V&A. Mm-hmm. And the V&A used to have a bookstore. Like they used to publish lots of books, and now they do, but there's no format to them. They publish kind of formatted books. Now I think this is an incredibly ugly little. This is really a horrible little thing. What this is they own Joseph Paxton's drawings.
Yeah. So this actually looks like a facsimile once you're inside.
This is because the real book is huge, right? So this is a facsimile of the thing that they own, and it is the most extraordinary. Well, it's the most extraordinary building. But what they did was they published. Every bit, every working drawing, and these are ink working drawings. And these are nothing. These are elevations of the Crystal Palace. What was really amazing is when you get to sort of to the back, you start to see
the level of detail. Yeah.
Like so they're designing little castings and they're drawing. This is where all of the little tie rods would come together in a ring. And I'm telling you, if you go look at the details for the Harley Davidson building, literally, I kept. 30, 40 years later trying to steal, or I guess 150 years later, trying to steal details like that.
It seems like there's some books that are on your list of favorites that you've that are just amazing design objects, like Pig 05049.
There's a fable. There's a kind of little fable that a Sicilian man says, and he says something like, we use every part of the pig. When an animal was slaughtered, nothing was thrown away. Everything was used. And so, Pig 05049, and that's the ear tag, right? Is the journey of Pig 05049.
A single pig.
A single pig. And so it's literally every single piece. It's a kind of the ultimate deconstruction of an animal.
Yeah, it's not unlike these two books are sort of similar in a way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Started out as a biologist, became an architect. I think it's pretty much.
But taking things apart, putting them together is still the essence of it all, too.